Hello class, what's up? Is Raj here. So today we are discussing about the classic that the chapter name is Nature Treasures. Okay, what do you mean by the nature treasures? So in this there is a natural resources including in the forest and air and water. So the composition including are there. So let's discuss about it. First we call air. What is air? Air is essential for breathing. Okay, if we breathing for something, that's air is very essential, and it contains nitrogen. The percentage is 78%, oxygen 21%, and small amounts of other gases including are there. Moving air is called wind. So moving air is called wind and can be used to generate electricity. Wind are also using the generate electricity. So next you can see in the diagram there is a composition of air. The nitrogen is 78%, other gases included 1%, 21% oxygen, and 3% including other, sorry, 1% including other. Okay, next, water. So if you're talking about the water class, what do you mean by it? The water is necessary for drinking. When you drink water, cooking, you cooked, bathing, when you bath, and washing and growing crops. This including the sources and the function of water are there. Only a small amount of water on earth is a fresh water. Only small amount. You can perhaps you can say that 1%. Okay, 1 to 3% that including are there. We must conserve the water. Yes, we have to conserve the water. We don't have to waste water because water save any aspects of manner in our life and every aspects of in our life. So you can see in the diagram that picture given and the drinking, the common uses of water you can see in the graph 4.5 5, cooking, bathing, washing, and farming. So these graph are showing that the uses per capita amount of water including the drinking, cooking, bathing, washing, and farming, that's all including in the one thing out there. So next with topic, the next topic is class energy from the sun. What do you mean by it? So the sun is the main source of energy on the earth. We know that. And the plants use sunlight when the sun gives the sunlight to make food, and all animals depend on the plants. Whatever the animals on the planets are there, they all are dependent on the plants directly and indirectly. You can see that directly and indirectly. So for example, the plant part that is known as leaf, how the leaf making their own food with the help of photosynthesis, guys. The leaf is making their own food. So we can say in easily aspects of manner, the preparation of food that depend upon the sunlight. Next class, what do you mean the forest? If you're talking about the forest, forests are the large areas with many trees and plants including in this. So if you're talking about the forest is a large areas with including many trees and plants are there. They provide food and shelter. So what is the function of forest? They provide food and shelter to animals. Animals has to capacity to including their, perhaps for example the carnivorous including are there. They are eating grasses. Okay, they are eating, sorry, herbivorous, not a carnivorous. Okay, sorry for my mistake. The herbivorous is eating, for green plants for their food. And the shelter is very important, guys, because we are getting from the forest and the woodens, for example bamboo. So help the maintain ecological balance. So what is the ecological balance between the animals, trees, all the stuffs including are there. So we can know that class how they are interproportional to each other, and they are the maintaining the difference between them in aspects of the consumption and the aspects of the marginal consumption. So what is the difference between the consumption? So the consumption of food including are there, and the marginal consumption also conclude the shelter to the animals. So in this we can see that there is a graph class. So you can see there is a food, there is a shelter, and consumption of oxygen, biodiversity consumption, if you soil protection, soil protections, conservation. You can see that. So What is the consumption between them? There is a huge difference between the oxygen and the biodiversity demand according to importance of forest. Next one class is class soil. What am I the soil? Soil supports plants, okay, growth, plant growth, and contains sand, clay, air, water, organic matter. What is the function of soil class? The main function to support the plant growth. Whatever the small plant grows to the medium one, a big one. So soil contain the important properties that gives the contain sand, clay, air, water, organic matter, including in the soil are there. It forms from the weathering of the rocks. When the rocks are divided, or subdivided into the small particles in the form that the soil prepare from them. Soil are actually prepared from the rocks. Okay. So the basic property of the soil to enhancement enrich the supporting plant growth that contains the micronutrition and micronutrients are their class. For example, if you're talking about the sand, you can see the components of the soil according to the consumption, the clay, organic matter, air, and the water. According to the picture, you can see that class. Next topic class. Excuse me. Oh, yes. So next we topic the class fossil fuel. Coal, petroleum, natural gas are the fossil fuel. Okay, formed from the dead plant and organism over millions of years. So the main composition of the fossil fuel, for example, the coal, petroleum, natural gases, fossil fuels are formed from the dead plants. And the dead organisms are there. For example, you can give example of fossil fuel like a dinosaurs. That comets and asteroid come in the earth and destroy everything. This is the long term story about it. So you can see that class, the coal, petroleum, and the natural gas including are there according to their consumption of the dead plants and the organism over millions of years. So the types of fossil fuel including are there, the coal, petroleum, and natural gas including are there. This is called the types of fossil fuel. Okay. Next, we're talking about class. The what is the natural resources? So the natural resources can be renewable and the non-renewable. For example, the energy can be regenerated and be infinite source of energy that is known as the renewable energy, and the non-renewable energy is can't be reversible. Yeah, irreversible. For example, renewable energy, air, water, sunlight. That's never end. For example, the sunlight even also in air. So non-renewable energy, coal, petroleum, and minerals are including are there. Well, after the one consumption of you can't be reuse it, and the sources can be not driven out at that particular time are there. So these are the example of the natural resources, and this is the type of the natural resources. Thank you so much.